Okay, developers, continuing our slow ramp up into the world of JavaScript. Where you find me right now is I have VS Code open and I have the Sabio Foundations folder open. Again, the Sabio Foundations folder, inside of it has two little folders. The primary one that we're going to work on is under Foundations. This is the appropriate folder to open it up, right? Don't open directly Foundations. You want to open up Sabio Foundations. Review the prior video if you don't have that open correctly. So from here, the purpose of this video is that we're just going to do a little walkthrough of the environment and how I want you to work through the first, at least the first half of these exercises before we get into doing some automated testing. So you're going to open up the 01 start folder, and in there you're going to go to 01 start HTML. Simply double click it. Now, in my environment, what happens is that this opens up all the information collapsed. Just because I want to reclaim some of my space, I'm going to hide the Explorer by clicking it over here. So if I click it, it hides it. If I click it, it shows it. I'm going to click it to hide it. You've done HTML before, so if you come into the editor, you'll see that there's a head tag that's got a bunch of stuff in here. But this stuff is just noise for us right now. So I want to hide it because I don't want to look at it. It's not important for what we're talking about right now. We're going to start writing JavaScript. Okay, and where I want you to start writing JavaScript is inside of the body tag, specifically inside of the script element that has the ID of candidate code. Before I do that, I want to launch my web page here on a localhost server. So I'm going to launch it using a live server. So I right click and I say open with live server. If you're missing the open with live server option here, it means that you did not properly install the live server extension. So make sure you go back to the previous video and review how that's done to make sure that you install the live server extension. I'm going to click open with live server, and it's going to open up my default browser. The browser that it should open up for you, we want it to be Chrome. So if it's not Chrome, set up your default browser to be Chrome. If anything, just while you're working in our environment. It's easier that we look at the same tools, the same UI, the same everything, so that it's a little bit more clear to you as things get a little bit more difficult. So in Chrome, I was prompted to log in. Again, we covered this in another previous video, but when you, well, let me cover it again. Sabio Candidate should be the option that you select here. So if you click on this drop down, you're going to have potentially a number of Slack teams that you're a part of. You want to click Sabio Candidates there. From here, what do? We simply want to click Allow, right? And then this is going to allow us to query, make sure that if you're a part of the actual team, and bring in your little avatar a little bit later. Now, this might look a little disorienting, but all we want from here is a nice, clean, white screen. And from this nice, clean, white screen, what we're going to do is we're going to bring this over and move it over to the right. And we're going to make sure our VS Code is over to the left. So the next thing that I want to do, I want to make sure this is working. So I'm going to declare a variable, say var hello. That's the name of the variable. And I'm going to assign it a value of hello world. We're going to go into more details a little bit later. But what I want you to do is type out the following words. var for variable. We're declaring a variable. And we're going to name that variable hello. And then this is going to be an assignment. I want to assign to that variable this following value right here. And then this semicolon is basically the end of the statement. It's the end of the statement. This is us telling the JavaScript engine we're done with the statement that we wanted to write. So we're going to hit Control S or File Save. And on the right hand side, you're going to see a hello, a little label popped open here. And it points to a little box that says hello world. Now, if this didn't happen here, what I want you to do is right click on the browser and click inspect. Again, another reason why we want you to make sure we're in the same browser. You right click in here, you click inspect. You click on the console and you might see some warnings in here. What I want you to do is from the custom levels, the warnings that you might see might be here, like they're in yellow. They're warnings. They're not really something that's going to bother us. The things that would bother us would be in red. So this is a little annoying, right? So if you want to get rid of that, you simply want to click into default levels and uncheck the warnings. And then this will clear up for you nice and beautiful like this. If I had a problem in here, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how you can spot errors that you're going to be writing. I'm going to purposely come in here and I'm going to forget to put this closing parentheses there. And I'm going to hit save. So there's at least 3 places now that I want to show you you're going to see an error. First, you're going to see an error right here. All right. But you don't need to have this tool open. But this is telling you there's an uncaught error. It's on line 24. And if you look here on the left-hand side, it says this is line 24. So this is the first place that you're going to see this error. So again, how would I get to there? Is if I'm in the browser, I right-click on the browser, I say inspect, and I click on the tab that says console. So here's my console. This is one of the first places that I'm going to see potential errors. Now, if that's not open, what else can I see? You should try to notice these little red squigglies underneath here. This is telling us the same exact error that was visible in the browser. And if for some reason it's off screen, the error, I can see it in the scroll bar. There's a little red indicator right there that's telling me there's an error. There's another place where you can see errors. If you go to the terminal, click New Terminal. And then there's an area on the bottom that's going to show up. Yours might look a little different when you're in the Terminal tab, but I want you to click on the Problems. If you click on Problems, then again, you're going to see the list of files and a list of errors in those files. Really convenient is that from here I can click and it pops me open directly. It highlights the line in gold there. You see the little highlight. It says, hey, this is the problem. This is the line that was giving you problems. The errors, you're going to get to understand what these errors mean. Unterminated string literal. Yeah, most people don't know what that means. In English, what that means is that I started this string here with a double quote, but there was no end to it. There was no end to it. So I need to terminate, or I need to end and say this is the entire string that I wanted to work with. Again, the semicolon marks the end of the statement. I'm going to hit S, Control S. Control S saves a file. Again, or you can say File, Save, right? And, because I hit File, Save twice, it refreshes, Live Server refreshes the window, and it's going to show me my variable here. Now, I can do this environment on the right-hand side, the object graph that we have. We can say var goodbye. And semicolon at the end. So what did I do here is I typed out the word var. That's a keyword. It means that I'm going to declare a variable. This is the name of the variable. And I'm going to assign to this variable on the left, I'm going to assign the value on the right-hand side. And so I've said I want to assign the value of sad to see you go, exclamation mark. I'm going to assign that value. This is what the equal sign means, assignment. I'm going to assign that value to the goodbye variable. You're going to have this inclination because you're used to reading left to right. Sometimes, as you get to be more comfortable with coding, you're going to end up, again, reading the words, right? It's going to be natural to read the words, but as you understand them, and as you're saying back to yourself in your head, you actually might say them in reverse. I'm assigning this string to this variable. That's totally fine to think about it that way, especially as you get more comfortable. Notice the right-hand side has not refreshed because I have not hit Control S. The little indicator at the top on the tab, see the tab at the top? It has this little circle. That's the dirty indicator. The file is dirty. There are unsaved changes. So if I hit Control S, you'll see it go away. Control S, boom, and it goes away. And immediately the browser starts refreshing. Okay? So that's the browser refreshing with the two variables on the page. This is the type of environment that we want to work in. Now, another thing to mention now, because you want to say, hey, this is a new variable being declared, right? You should be able to write little notes for yourself. So how do I get these notes? If you notice, wow, just me writing that, look at all the little red squigglies and all the problems that I have here. Well, very much like you're used to and you've seen HTML comments, there's a way to write JavaScript comments, and that's simply putting two forward slashes at the beginning of a line. And you put those two forward slashes in the beginning of the line, and it turns it green. Try not to get too colorful with your customizations of your themes, because the color coding that comes with VS Code, your eyes just start to see it and start to recognize the patterns. And sometimes I've seen comments be like super faded out gray, and they're really even hard to read and understand that there might even be comments there. Now let me put another comment over here, and this time I'm gonna purposely mess this up. Let's see. I'm gonna break my code. So I'm gonna leave it there. I'm gonna put a period there, like I was writing a sentence. The dirty indicator still says that this is unsaved. I'm gonna hit Control S. I'm just gonna save it. And then you'll see that the browser is done spinning, and yet I have a blank page. I have a blank page because there's meaningful errors here. Errors that have basically short-circuited everything that's going on the page on the right-hand side. Depending on the type and how bad the error is, this is what's going to happen. You're going to basically lose all your work that's visible in the browser. So be mindful of the errors that are here. Be mindful of the red squigglies. Watch out for the red in the browser. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a shortcut key to make this comment here. A comment. I'm going to hit Control / Again, that's in my Windows environment. If you're on an Apple, it's going to be the command / So I hit the command / and now I have my comments. If you wanted to get into writing on more than one line, let's just say on more than, I'm just going to ignore that IntelliSense autocomplete there. One line. Here I go, and I'm gonna just stop here. So even if you have all of these lines, if you highlight them, right, however it is you want to highlight them, I'm highlighting with my keyboard right here. You can drag and highlight them. If you hit command / bam, it's comment. So that's nice and super convenient. I'm just gonna highlight one line and command / right there, right? Command or Control / and it will take the comment out. So it toggles the comment. And very convenient, I don't even have to have the line highlighted. I can just say Control / and it comments out the code. So this is an example of the one-line comment. Sometimes we don't want to do that. Sometimes we want to do a multi-line comment. So I'm going to start my multi-line comment right here on this same line. And then I'm going to bring my cursor down to the end of here and do the opposite, * /. So I start the multi-line comment with a / *, and I end it with the */. Now this is going to allow me to just kind of push this code down this way, so I can then put in something that this next line here, this next line, I wanted to say something of meaning that will help me with my code. Okay. And now the comments, they don't show up on the right-hand side. Okay. All right. So that's a little tour of the things that I want you to prepare for as you dive into the next exercise. Putting the windows up side by side. Wanting you to watch out for the lines over here in the script area. Make sure it's in the script area. Looking for the red squigglies there. Looking for the red squigglies inside of the scroll bar, and then the terminal. Now, if you end up doing something like this, where I say, hey, terminal, new terminal, and you're not paying attention, you say new terminal, what you're going to notice here is that you end up with multiple down here at the bottom out of this drop down. And if you were to potentially have an error, let's see what this error looks like. So I'm in the 5 and I'm in 1, and the problem still persists across all of them, right? So that's good. But if I come back here and I want to just close them, right? Because I don't want to have 5 of these things open. You can hit the little trash can. Hit the little trash can. Hit the little trash can, and you'll see that they start going away. You really only need to have one of those open at a time. Okay. And so, let me fix this. I don't want to leave this screen with an error just sitting there like that. So no problems. And my page is refreshing, and my variables will be up and visible. Okay, great. Now we're going to get into really talking about what variables are and the different types of variables that we're going to be working with.